I'm a Locks fan for life. About D Block. My kids was raised on the Locks. We go way back. I'm just saying. It's Al Qaeda Jada team over here and all that. But nevertheless, this is why you get your ass whipped when you come ill prepared. You thinking you better than someone because you think you're cooler or younger or whatever. And like I said, that grown man's strength will beat your ass.
Yeah. What she said. What she said. Because we're gonna elaborate a little bit on that. Because like man, oh man, I was getting chills. Some of the stuff Jadakiss was saying, how prepared he was, is what they always say. Be prepared. You don't have to get prepared. And the Dipset was definitely not prepared. They came up there. I'm observing. I'm like, all right. They passed some blunts on the stage. They got Hennessy. It was just like a big like, yo, we around the way on the block. They try to make jokes about the he's like, oh, what you got on? Try doing some fashion shit. There's a lot, the Dipset always thought they was about fashion, that Harlem shit back in the 2000s and all that. And that shit's past. Your crowd is like 45 and 50 right now. Nobody cares about what you got on, what chain. When you 50, if you still care about somebody's chain and their clothing, it's something wrong with you. You're a fucking loser. You are a fucking loser. If you care, shots fired for fucking losers that care about clothing and cars at 50 years old. If you ain't talking about fucking retirement plans, IRAs, individual interest, retirement accounts, and fucking you on Stash or whatever, or some app, investing, Acorn, you are a fucking loser. Get it? Let me pause. Moment of silence for the losers. They fucking dead. But here we go. My man Jada came up, showed out. He was ready, spitting over beats. Yo, I love hip hop. That shit gave me chills. It was like he was spitting over beats, not over fucking lyrics, rhyming over your songs. These guys come rhyming over songs. Jim Jones getting the chain, had his jeweler put a chain on his neck and came up with his one hit balling and thought he like had the whole stage. And I'm like looking like, first of all, and that shit ain't even have the feel of when it was back then. So all the Jada and them shit still had that feeling. Because you gotta understand, a lot of music don't age well. A lot of music. Let me say it again. A lot of music don't age well. Now all you young bucks making music out here, all this drill shit, and all this fucking hippity hop and fucking, and fucking like, the drug addict rap and the prostitute rap. Think about it. 25 years from now, when you put that shit on, ain't nobody people gonna be like, I'm too mature to be on some WAP shit. I'm too mature to be on some future shit. Talking about I'm on promethazine and all that shit. You're gonna be too mature for that. So that means your music ain't gonna age well. You ain't gonna have a Rob Bass. It takes 30 years later, he's still getting shows. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have that. That's something like when you making this music, you gotta think about that. Like, damn, what song is gonna take care of me for the rest of my life? Like a Jadakiss Why? That Why song? Why Biggie Had to Die. That shit gonna be on and on. He could come out and just rock that. These two classics Nas just dropped, King's Disease 1 and 2. Oh my God. Man, listen. Y'all ain't listen to that. You need to listen. Lyrics is back, baby. Get on board and get left behind. Because the train ain't gonna wait. How long the train stay in the station? 15 minutes? Not even 15 minutes? Yeah. All aboard.
All I know is if you're going to be trying to have opponents out here and be in competitions and you want to start some trouble, you better have an idea of who you're dealing with. Because another classic example of not knowing who you're dealing with is having bad neighbors. Bad neighbors will make you catch a case out here, okay? And I think in almost every place I've lived, I've had a neighbor who's made me want to commit acts of violence. They've made me want to choose violence on a regular basis, especially when I lived in Harlem. The only time I didn't have bad neighbors, this isn't even all the way true because my upstairs neighbor was horrible, but my next door neighbor was wonderful. When I lived on 8th Avenue and 134th Street, yeah, my next door neighbor was wonderful, but the upstairs neighbor were crap. All I know is you don't know who you're dealing with. And in some cases, just like he told you, the neighbor came and killed everybody because you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know what kind of day someone had. You don't know what somebody has been through. You don't know if you're going to be the straw that breaks that person's back. And that's going to be it for you. And I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I don't feel bad for you because you just don't know what led up to a situation. You're better off just shutting your yap, shut your pie hole, and keep it moving. But if you want to start some trouble, you better be able to back that up because people who are shell-shocked from their wars will give you something that you're not ready for. That's all I know. And if you have some whack neighbors out there, take it from us. Build a fence, put up a barrier. Don't put yourself out there where you're going to want to catch a case with your neighbor because they will drive you to that. I have had neighbors where I literally was plotting all kinds of schemes to create a scenario where they would be forced to leave. But at the same time, I had to know who I was dealing with. And, sometimes I got to be the one to go so I don't be the one that goes to jail for beating your ass. You got to know. You got to know.
That's a real subject, knowing your neighbors. Because I know I had to have a guy at Home Depot fucking pull me off the ledge. I'm like venting to him, the old dude at Home Depot, about what's going on with my neighbors. And he was like, you know what, man? The best advice, this is like, honestly, this is some of the best advice I ever had. This is an old guy at Home Depot. I'm like, yo, I'm so tight. I'm like venting. I'm like just venting to him about my neighbors. He's like, yo, just like you doing the right thing. Because I was there getting some fencing equipment. He's like, just put up the fence, man. He's like, 'cause they probably know. He's like, they probably some piece of shit next door. And he just described what was going on. He never seen them. And he was like, I've been there. He was like, put your fence up and forget about them. Because you probably got way more to lose than they do. And he was like, once you cross that line, you're going to give them what they want. And that was like some of the best. I like that shit like resonate with me all the time. And I'm like, oh shit. He talked me down off the ledge because I'm like ready to like spaz. Put my fence up. I don't even look at these people. I don't speak to them. Nothing. I got fucked up neighbors. They dirty, everything. They got all these fucking dogs. They suck. And, they just, I don't know where they came from. But this is like a home owner's block. And they are renting next door. And that shit is just like, it just doesn't mix. It's like oil and water. It doesn't mix. I don't know where they came from. And, it's just what it is. But that's my story. I don't want to elaborate no more on that. We're gonna wrap this up. But in conclusion of this story, it needs to be like, know who you're dealing with. And, if you don't know who you're dealing with, like someone said, shut your pie hole. Keep it moving, man. This shit, could always end up very bad. Really whack. Yeah. So take that advice. And I hope it helps you one day. Because I don't want to see you. I don't want one of my listeners on the front page like, oh, it was a massacre. It was a massacre. And
like Dipset in the Lock.
Like Dipset in the Lock. They came up there. They wasn't prepared. And it was this guy. He just had all the ammo. We're gonna wrap this up. And shout out to the baby. We standing with the baby over here. Shout out. I heard he deleted all his apologies. He dropped 4 songs. He ain't gonna get bullied by the LGBTQ plus QRSTUV. And like fuck that. I like that. I like when a man be a man. Like, yo, what's one thing about me? I love when a man be a man. That should remind me of old school. Like, man, fuck you. Fuck your feelings. Like, get out of here. 'Cause you don't need all the money. You don't need all the money. Baby got some bread. He ain't gonna lose his fan base. His fan base gonna stand with him. He probably gonna realize hey, I don't need this big machine behind me to sustain my lifestyle right now. He's in. He's on. Baby, you're on. Stand your ground, as they say in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Stand your ground. You got your, you got your fucking burner on you, nigga. Stand your ground.
How the hell did we get to the baby having the burner on and why he gotta
Fuck
have the
that.
heat? I'm saying he got the
Black
heat.
man needs the heat out here.
You know, I have no argument there. All I know is the prime example of the baby knowing who he was dealing with, and he just didn't care. He was like, you know what? You don't know who y'all dealing with. I'm taking down this apology. Sheik Luch is out here like you don't know who you dealing with. You know, Cam is out here throwing kicks to Styles, and Sheik was ready like, yo, son, you don't know who you dealing with out here. I'm ready to beat your ass on this stage, my boy. And you see, they was like, oh, it's all love. It's all love. Nobody don't want that static with Sheik Luch. Nobody. Even Suge Knight didn't want heat with Sheik Luch. So again, know who you dealing with. If you got raggedy neighbors, be strategic and make it so that you know what they can't get at you. They can't do nothing to you. Prime example, you the old guy and some youngsters is trying to get at you. You know what? You keep the heat low until you got to throw some gasoline on it. That's all. And like we always say, you know, Rick and Sean could be wrong. You know, you could say we the ones throwing gasoline on stuff by choosing violence. But sometimes you have to because people push you to a point where your shell-shocked memories resurface, and then you're going to get that old Vietnam vet that was asleep for the last 40 years come out with the automatic, like, yo, you asked for it, so you're going to get it. And, I mean, I don't know guns like that, so I just have to say automatic. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I guess the 50 cal. Yeah, that's right. Where's my gat?
Now she just went from the automatic to the 50 cal.
Well, somebody could be driven to that point, is what I'm saying.
They got a 50 cal in the crib.
Well, you know, hey, I just hit a golf ball for the first time today, so that should tell you everything right there.
In the garage with a
50 cal. We outside. You know, what my man say? Pull up on me. Pull up on me. I'm just saying. We could be wrong. So if you got an opinion about this little episode, hit us up at what'swackytous@gmail.com. We outside. We out here. It's Rick and Sean and What's Wacky to Us. Because what's wacky to us is if when you don't know who you're dealing with and you get your ass beat, you got exactly what you asked for.